Today I'm going to show everybody how they can teach a map to another person. And then so all the geography teachers of America should really watch this video so they could do this. And then once you understand how to do this, then you can have your students do this to your other students. So half of your class can be teaching the other half of your class, and then all of your class can be a genius within a period. I'm going to use a nice person who's off screen to be my guinea pig, if you will. This map is of Central America and the Caribbean. And this is how I teach maps. And it works fantastic. My students knew more maps and knew more countries than any kids in history. This is the United States, this is Mexico, and this is a country called Guatemala. This is a country called Belize. So I'm going to ask you just to say the names.
United States, Mexico, Belize, Guatemala. Mexico, Belize, or Guatemala, Belize. Guatemala, Belize, Mexico.
This little tiny one is called El Salvador.
Mexico, El Salvador, Belize, El Salvador, Guatemala, El Salvador, Mexico, El Salvador, United States, Mexico, El Salvador, Belize, Guatemala, Belize.
Okay, this is Honduras and Nicaragua. Honduras, Nicaragua.
El Salvador, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, El Salvador, Honduras, Belize, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua. I forget that one.
Guatemala.
Guatemala.
It's fine. Guatemala.
Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Nicaragua, the United States, Mexico, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, Guatemala.
Now, a fun fact. Guatemala's government was overthrown by the United States in 1954 over bananas. And it's a fun story, and I'll do it another time, but when I point at this country, when you say Guatemala, say that the government was overthrown because of bananas.
Okay.
When I get that.
It kind of looks like a banana.
Okay.
Like.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm.
Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, Belize. Guatemala, the government was overthrown because of bananas. Mexico?
And this happened in the 1950s, to put things in perspective. So the government was overthrown because of bananas in the 1950s. Okay.
Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador. This is Guatemala. The government was overthrown because of bananas in the 1950s.
Very good.
Belize, Mexico. Guatemala, overthrown in 1950s because of bananas. El Salvador, Nicaragua. Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Belize, Mexico, Guatemala, bananas, 1950s.
Okay. Now the last two, and then we're going to just practice. The last two are Costa Rica, which means rich coast in English. I don't care yet, but I will get back to that. Costa is coast, Rica is rich, so rich coast. And you can see it has a nice coast on both sides. This is the Caribbean Sea, and this is the Pacific Ocean. I'm allowed to go there, and if I do, then you just say Pacific Ocean and Caribbean Sea.
Okay.
This is Panama, and even though it doesn't show on this map, the United States and Panamanians built a canal that goes through there, and so you can take a boat from the Caribbean to the Pacific through the Panama Canal. Again, I don't care, but I'm just letting you know Panama is somewhat important because there's the canal there. So this is Panama, And this is
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, which means
Rich coast.
very good. So I'm just going to now play. And anytime I go anywhere, you just do the best you can.
I'm nervous.
I'm not nervous. You're wonderful.
Okay. Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, bananas, 1950s.
Good.
Belize, Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama.
Okay, now this one's fun, what I'm about to do.
Oh, dear.
Out of all these countries from here all the way to here, they all speak Spanish with this exception.
Really?
Because this was a British colony for the longest time called British Honduras. And then when it became independent in 1981, holy cow, just last week in history, when it became independent, it became Belize. And because it was a British colony, it speaks English. These were all Spanish-owned places, so they all speak Spanish. So when I go to Belize, you'll mention that they speak English there.
Okay.
Okay. They happen to speak English a lot here, but not completely.
So I've heard.
In the United States, yeah. Okay, so you ready?
Yep.
Okay, and then I can go to water two, the two waters. Yes. And I'll go one other one, just so that we've said it. I don't mind that I might be offending a couple of people, but this is the Gulf of Mexico. The reason it was called that was, of course, Mexico used to come up here, and so it, Mexico covered most of that area. Many of us still think it's the Gulf of Mexico, and we'll go with that. Okay.
Got it.
So, last thing to add, this is a river, and it's called the Rio Grande. You might have heard of it. If I point at it, I want you to do your best. But if you miss one, it's fine, because I want to show you what I do when people miss things.
Okay.
The fact that you're a great student is sort of immaterial. Let's just kind of go.
Gulf of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Pacific. Caribbean.
Caribbean Sea.
Caribbean Sea.
Mm-hmm. Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
Okay.
Panama. Caribbean Sea. Costa Rica.
What does it mean?
Means rich coast. Pacific Ocean. Nicaragua. Honduras. El Salvador. Guatemala. Bananas. 1950.
The government was
The government was overthrown. This is Belize. It was a British colony, so they speak English. Mexico. Rio Grande. Gulf of Mexico. Pacific Ocean. Caribbean Sea. United States. Belize. They speak English. Guatemala overthrown because of bananas. El Salvador. Honduras. Nicaragua. Costa Rica. Nicaragua. Honduras. El Salvador. Costa Rica. Panama. Mexico. Pacific Ocean. Gulf of Mexico. Caribbean Sea.
Now, lots of things are named, and it's goofy. But you know the word pacify? Means like calm down things. The Pacific Ocean was named by a guy because he thought it was a calm ocean. So that's why it was called the Pacified Ocean. And we call it the Pacific. So it's a good thing to know, and we just add that when I point at it. Okay.
Rio Grande. Gulf of Mexico. Belize was a British colony. They speak English. Guatemala government was overthrown because of bananas in the 1950s. El Salvador. Honduras. Nicaragua. Costa Rica. Honduras. Nicaragua. El Salvador. Panama. Costa Rica. Nicaragua. Honduras. United States. Mexico.
Okay, one more fact, and then we're going to be done. These are called the Caribbean Islands. That is because the people that were there when Columbus arrived were called Caribs. C-A-R-I-B. And so they named these islands after the Native Americans that are not there anymore. There's very few Caribs on Earth anymore. But that's why they called this sea the Caribbean Sea, because it was surrounded by these islands which were populated with these Caribs. I'm not going to do anything more than that, than just now ask you, last question that I need to make sure you're clear on is, this is the Atlantic Ocean. And that's a fun one. I've done a video on, actually, why that's called the Atlantic, so we'll do that another time. But I'm going to do now the Atlantic and the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico and Pacific, and then we'll just do everything and show that you're a genius now. And can you at least admit to the camera that you did not know all of these off your head when we first sat down?
I certainly did not.
Okay, so here we go. Let's see if this method has worked. And then tell me the couple of things you know.
All right.
Okay.
United States, Mexico, Rio Grande, Gulf of Mexico. That one is Belize, and they speak English. That one is Guatemala, and the United States overthrew their government in the 1950s.
For what?
For bananas.
Mm-hmm.
That one is El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, it means rich coast.
Good.
Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, U.S. overthrew their government in the 1950s for bananas. Belize, they speak English. Mexico, Pacific Ocean, Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean. I'm a genius.
You're a flicking genius.